You see, the greatest challenge we face today is not the rise of artificial intelligence. It's our resistance to it. It's our hesitation, our fear, our clinging to the old ways while the world shifts right beneath our feet. Change has never waited for anyone, and it's not about to start now. The truth is, AI isn't coming. It's already here. It's rewriting the rules of business, of creativity, of communication, of life itself. The question isn't whether you're ready for AI. The question is, will you adapt fast enough to remain relevant, to stay ahead, to thrive in a world that's transforming faster than any generation before you? You've got to understand something deep. Progress doesn't ask for permission. It moves relentlessly, like a tide. You can either stand on the shore and get swept away, or you can learn to surf the wave. And that's what this is about, learning how to embrace change rather than resist it. Because the people who win in any era aren't the ones who complain about what's changing. They're the ones who anticipate it, align with it, and use it to their advantage. We've seen this pattern throughout history. When the printing press was invented, many feared it would destroy the art of storytelling. When electricity emerged, people said it would ruin sleep, destroy communities, change everything. When the internet arrived, critics said it would isolate us, make us lazy, and take away our jobs. But for those who embraced it, it created entire industries, new ways to connect, to build, to influence, to prosper. Every great leap in human progress was met first with fear, and then, by those who embraced it, with freedom. So let's talk about that resistance. That instinct inside you that whispers, I don't understand this, or I'm too old for this, or this is moving too fast. That voice is not truth. It's fear dressed up as logic. It's the part of your brain designed to protect you from the unknown. But in today's world, that same protection can become a prison. If you wait for certainty in times of change, you'll be waiting forever. The people who make history are the ones who act in uncertainty, who adapt in motion, who figure it out as they go. And let me tell you, adapting doesn't mean you have to become a tech expert overnight. It doesn't mean you have to code or build robots or understand every algorithm. Adapting is about mindset. It's about curiosity. It's about asking better questions. Instead of saying, this technology is replacing people, ask, how can I become the person who leverages this technology better than anyone else? The quality of your questions determines the quality of your future. The truth is, people who thrive in moments like this are the ones who are emotionally agile. They can let go of old beliefs quickly. They can pivot. They can learn, unlearn, and relearn. They don't anchor their identity to what was, they anchor it to what's possible. Because when you make your identity flexible, your potential becomes limitless. I met people who've spent 20 years mastering one skill, and they're terrified right now. They see AI writing, designing, analyzing, predicting. They think of what happens to. Well, here's what they're missing. AI may have intelligence, but it doesn't have intuition. And it doesn't have your experience, your energy, your soul. It doesn't have the hunger that drives human innovation. You don't compete with machines by being one. You compete by being more human than ever. You combine your creativity, your empathy, your insight, your vision with the capabilities that technology brings. That's how you multiply your power. Think about it this way. If you're standing still in a moving world, you're falling behind. The world is evolving at a rate humanity has never seen. Every day, AI learns, adapts, and grows. So if you want to stay relevant, you have to evolve just as fast, not out of fear, but out of purpose. Because evolution isn't about survival of the strongest. It's about survival of the most adaptable. The world doesn't reward comfort. It rewards courage. And that courage starts with one simple decision, to stop resisting what's new. Resistance drains your energy. It locks you in the past. The moment you decide to embrace change, to get curious instead of afraid, you open yourself up to infinite possibility. The moment you say, I'm going to understand this, your mind shifts from victim to creator. And that shift changes everything. Let's make this personal. Look at your own life, your work, your business, your relationships. How many opportunities have you missed because you were holding on to the old way of doing things? How many times did you say, that's not for me, only to watch someone else step in, learn it, and win with it, and win with it? This is the same moment, the same test. You can either let AI intimidate you, or you can let it inspire you. You can either watch the wave or ride it. You decide. You've got to become adaptable, not just in action, but in identity. See, real transformation doesn't happen when you change what you do. It happens when you change who you think you are. If you keep saying, I'm not good with technology, your brain will make that true. But if you start saying, I'm a lifelong learner, I adapt fast, I figure things out, you'll activate parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. You'll start seeing connections, patterns, and possibilities where others see confusion. That's the power of belief in action. It means aligning your growth with reality. It means being strategic, looking at where the world is headed and positioning yourself not just to survive it, but to lead in it. It means learning new tools, yes, but more than that, it means developing the emotional resilience to face uncertainty with strength, to stay grounded while everything shifts around you. Every revolution in history was uncomfortable at first. Every period of change came with confusion, fear, and resistance. But the ones who adapted early became the leaders everyone else followed. Think about those who saw the potential of the internet before anyone else, those who understood the power of social media before it became mainstream, those who adopted digital tools when others said, that's not for me. They didn't wait for the world to convince them. They moved before it was popular. That's what embracing change looks like. It's not about comfort. It's about commitment. And here's the beauty. The faster you adapt, the more opportunities you unlock. Because when you stop fearing change, you start mastering it. You stop seeing AI as competition and start seeing it as collaboration. You stop asking, what if this ends my career? And start asking, what new doors does this open? And I promise you, there are more doors opening now than at any time in human history. But let's be honest, it takes humility. It takes the willingness to be a beginner again, to not know everything, to be okay asking questions that make you feel small for a moment, knowing that learning will make you powerful for a lifetime. Too many people protect their pride instead of pursuing progress. They'd rather look smart than become better. But in a world that's moving this fast, that mindset is fatal. The real leaders are the ones who say, teach me, show me, let me try. That's the spirit of adaptation. This isn't just about technology. It's about transformation. It's about your ability to grow, to stretch, to evolve. Because if you can adapt to AI, you can adapt to anything. You'll develop the muscle of flexibility, and that muscle will carry you through every future disruption. You'll stop being afraid of the next big thing because you'll know whatever comes, you'll figure it out. That's true freedom. The world isn't divided between those who know AI and those who don't. It's divided between those who are willing to learn and those who aren't. The ones who are willing to evolve will shape the next era of humanity. The ones who resist will fade into the background, not because they're not capable, but because they refuse to adapt. Don't let that be you. You were born to grow. You were built to evolve. Every challenge, every shift, every disruption, it's all designed to stretch you into your next level of greatness. So stop resisting the change. Stop fighting the wave. Lean into it. Learn from it. Let it teach you how powerful you really are. Because the truth is, AI isn't the end of human potential. It's the beginning of a new kind of power. But that power only belongs to those who are ready to embrace it. To those who are not afraid to let go of what was in order to reach what can be. Change isn't your enemy. It's your invitation. Huh? And the sooner you accept that invitation, the sooner you'll realize you were never meant to just survive this era. You were meant to master it. The world we're stepping into requires a new kind of mind. Not one that clings to what worked yesterday, but one that's flexible enough to think differently today. If you want to thrive in the age of AI, you can't rely on the old programming that shaped your beliefs, your habits, your sense of control. You've got to reprogram your mindset for the future. Because the same thoughts that brought you success in the past will not sustain you in what's coming next. The rules are changing, and so must the way you think, the way you learn, the way you respond to challenge and opportunity. You see, everything starts in the mind. The technology doesn't determine your destiny. Your mindset does. Two people can face the exact same revolution, the exact same challenges, and one will crumble while the other will rise, all because of how they choose to think about it. If you believe that AI is the end of human relevance, then every new innovation will feel like a threat. But if you believe it's a doorway, a tool to expand your reach, your creativity, your power, then every innovation becomes a gift. That's the shift we need to make. Because the gap between fear and freedom is perspective. You've got to start recognizing the patterns of your own thinking. The moment a new technology appears, does your brain rush to find the danger, the loss, the risk? Or do you look for the opportunity, the leverage, the potential? Most people are conditioned by years of schooling, social norms, and comfort zones to see change as disruption instead of evolution. But evolution doesn't ask if you're ready, it demands that you grow. And the only way to grow is to renew the software that runs your life. Your beliefs. Your beliefs are the code of your mind. They shape what you see, what you attempt, and what you avoid. If your internal code says, I'm not technical, then you won't even try to explore how AI can help you. If your mind says, this is too complicated, your energy will shut down before you take the first step. But when you reprogram your mindset with empowering beliefs, beliefs like, I can learn anything, or this is my time to expand, or I adapt faster than I fear, then your entire emotional state changes. You stop reacting to change, and you start leading it. That shift doesn't happen by accident. It happens by decision. You've got to decide that you will no longer let fear dictate your perception of progress, because fear is clever. It disguises itself as logic, as caution, as reason. But underneath, it's just uncertainty wearing a mask. The antidote to fear isn't ignorance. It's understanding. I didn't say, the more you learn about something, the less power your fear has over you. So if AI scares you, learn about it. Don't wait until the world forces you to catch up. Get curious now. Ask questions. Explore tools. Test ideas. The more you engage with it, the more your confidence grows, and confidence is the foundation of every transformation. There's a principle I've seen again and again in high performers, in people who succeed through massive transitions. They train their minds to see opportunity where others see threat. They condition themselves daily, intentionally, the narrative in their heads. You can't stop change from happening, but you can decide the meaning it has for you. If you label AI as the enemy, it will always feel like one. If you label it as a teacher, as a catalyst, as an accelerator, suddenly it becomes a partner in your evolution. That's mindset reprogramming at its core, redefining the meaning you attach to change. Think about it. The only constant in life is change. But what determines whether that change destroys or elevates you is your interpretation of it. When you learn to interpret uncertainty as potential rather than peril, you become unstoppable. You stop hesitating, you stop procrastinating, you start moving. And in motion, your power multiplies. Because growth doesn't come from knowing, it comes from doing. It comes from doing. Now, reprogramming your mindset isn't just about positive thinking. It's about rewiring your habits, your focus, your emotional reactions. It's about shifting from a reactive state to a proactive. Instead of waiting to see how AI affects your job, your industry, your identity, you start asking, how can I shape my role in this new world? You start building skills that make you indispensable, skills like problem solving, emotional intelligence, creativity, adaptability. You start understanding that technology doesn't replace people. It replaces inefficiency. It replaces stagnation. It replaces limitation. Let's be real. This shift isn't going to be comfortable. Growth never is. You're going to have moments where your brain screams that this is too much. But that's the moment you push through. Because on the other side of discomfort is mastery. Every time you challenge an old belief, every time you choose curiosity over fear, every time you lean into learning instead of retreating, you're rewriting your identity. You're upgrading your internal system to match the world's speed. The key is to protect your mental environment. If you spend your time around people who complain about technology, who mock progress, who resist learning, you'll start absorbing that energy. You'll start believing the world is leaving you behind. But if you surround yourself with learners, with innovators, with people who are excited by possibility, that energy will rewire your thinking. You'll start to feel the pull of growth instead of the weight of fear. That's why environment matters. It's the external code that reinforces your internal mindset. And let's talk about curiosity for a moment. Curiosity is the gateway to adaptation. It's the antidote to stagnation. When you're curious, you stop needing to have all the answers because you realize the joy is in discovery. You stop fearing mistakes because you understand that every misstep is data, information that moves you closer to mastery. In the age of AI, curiosity is currency. The people who win are the ones who ask better questions, who explore without judgment, who learn faster because they're not afraid to look foolish. You've got to train your brain to look for patterns, to recognize how AI can amplify your unique gifts. Maybe you're a teacher who can use AI to personalize learning for your students. Maybe you're an artist who can use it to create beyond the limits of imagination. Maybe you're a business leader who can automate the ordinary so you can focus on the extraordinary. Extraordinary. Whatever your field, AI doesn't replace your humanity. It magnifies it if you let it. But that only happens when your mind is open, flexible, hungry to grow. We've talked about embracing change, and we've talked about reprogramming the mind to meet that change. But now comes the most critical shift of all: learning to use AI as a tool, not a threat. Because make no mistake, how you relate to this technology will determine your trajectory in the years ahead. The ones who rise in this era will not be the ones who resist it, and not even just the ones who understand it, but the ones who use it, who harness it, who merge their humanity with its capability to create something greater than either could. The greatest mistake people are making right now is seeing AI as competition. They're watching it write, analyze, speak, and create, and they're saying, "What happens to me?" That's the wrong question. The real question is, how can this extend me? Because AI doesn't replace human potential, it magnifies it. It's not here to think for you, it's here to think with you. It's not the enemy of creativity, it's the amplifier of it. But to use it effectively, you must shift from fear to ownership. You have to see yourself as the driver, not the passenger. Technology has always scared people at first. When cars replaced horses, people said it would end civilization. When calculators replaced manual math, people said children would stop thinking. When the internet arrived, people said it would destroy privacy, communication, and attention. And in some ways it did. But it also connected billions, created new industries, birthed ideas that changed everything. Every time something new arrives, humanity has a choice: resist or redirect. The tool itself isn't good or bad, it's neutral. It's what we do with it that determines its power. AI is no different. It's a tool waiting for human direction. And if you learn to guide it, it will take you further than you've ever gone. But if you surrender to it, if you let it think for you, decide for you, replace your drive, you'll lose the essence that makes you human. You must become the master of the machine, not its servant. So, how do you do that? You start by getting clear on what only you can do. AI can process data, but it can't feel meaning. It can write words, but it can't give them soul. It can mimic tone, but it doesn't have intention. The real power comes when you take what AI does best: speed, scale, precision, and combine it with what humans do best: intuition, imagination, empathy, wisdom. That's when breakthroughs happen. Think about it like this: AI can help you work faster, but only you can decide why that work matters. It can generate ideas, but only you can choose which ones resonate with truth. It can predict patterns, but only you can sense purpose. That's your edge. And the people who understand that, who use AI as a collaborator, not a competitor, will shape the next generation of leaders, creators, and innovators. You've got to train yourself to think of AI like an instrument. A guitar doesn't make music by itself. It needs a musician. A paintbrush doesn't create art on its own. It needs an artist. AI is the same. It's not the genius, it's the amplifier. And in the hands of someone with vision, it becomes unstoppable. But in the hands of someone afraid to use it, it becomes a missed opportunity. What separates those who thrive in this revolution from those who don't isn't access. It's attitude. Everyone has access to the same tools, but not everyone has the courage to explore them, to experiment, to play. You've got to bring curiosity into your daily routine. Don't just use AI for what you already know. Use it to discover what you don't know. Let it show you perspectives you've never considered. Let it challenge your limits. That's how innovation is born. The moment you stop seeing AI as something outside of you and start seeing it as an extension of your capability, your entire world expands. Start realizing that you can reach millions with ideas that once stayed in your head. You can automate the repetitive tasks that drain your energy, freeing your mind to create, to build, to connect. You can analyze faster, communicate clearer, design smarter. The possibilities don't just grow, they explode. But there's something you have to guard carefully. As powerful as AI is, it can also make people lazy. It can give you information so fast that you stop thinking deeply. It can make things so easy that you forget the value of mastery. That's the trap. Because if you let the machine do your thinking, you'll lose the muscle that makes you powerful. Your ability to reason, to imagine, to discern truth. You can't let that happen. You must use AI to enhance your thinking, not replace it. Let it do the heavy lifting, but never hand it the steering wheel. And that requires awareness. Every time you open an AI tool, ask yourself, am I using this to create or am I using this to escape? Are you using it to make your vision real or to avoid the work of thinking for yourself? Because there's a big difference. One makes you powerful, the other makes you dependent. The people who will lead in this era are the ones who use AI with intention, who know what they're asking it to do and why. They're not mindlessly consuming, they're consciously directing. You see, AI can give you speed, but speed without direction is chaos. It can give you access, but access without clarity is noise. You have to bring meaning to it. You have to decide what matters. You have to use technology to express purpose, not replace it. Well, and that's where human spirit becomes the ultimate advantage, because purpose is something no algorithm can replicate. It's what gives your work weight, what gives your message impact, what makes your contribution irreplaceable. Imagine combining your human purpose with AI's power. Imagine writing messages that inspire millions, creating solutions that change lives, solving problems in days that used to take years. That's not a fantasy. It's the reality of this new era, but only for those who are willing to learn how to use the tool rather than fear it. When you start using AI as an ally, something beautiful happens. You stop competing and start creating. You stop reacting to the future and start building it. You move from survival to significance. You realize you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just have to be the one who knows how to leverage the smartest tools. That's how you scale your potential. The key is to approach AI with mastery, not dependency. Mastery means you understand its strengths and its limits. You know when to let it help and when to rely on your own instincts. It means you're always learning, always adapting, always experimenting, because this technology will keep evolving, and so must you. You can't learn it once and be done. You've got to keep exploring, keep refining, keep expanding your capability to use it wisely. Think of the pioneers who shaped every era of progress. They didn't wait for someone to show them how to use the new tool. They played with it. They failed, they tested, they experimented until they found magic. That's how invention happens. And that's how you have to treat AI, not as something to perfect, but as something to play with. Because play opens creativity. Play removes fear. Play unlocks genius. And let's be real, this isn't just about career or productivity. This is about legacy. The way you use AI will determine the kind of mark you leave on the world. You can use it to make life easier, yes, but you can also use it to make life better. You can use it to solve real human problems, to educate, to heal, to connect, to uplift. You can build tools that serve others, create experiences that inspire others, design solutions that empower others. That's what it means to use AI as a tool. It's not about power over people, it's about power for people. The people who will be remembered in this new era are not the ones who hid from the machine, but the ones who partnered with it to create more humanity. The ones who saw technology not as an escape from responsibility, but as an opportunity to expand their reach. The ones who asked, how can I use this to help more, give more, serve more? That's leadership. That's legacy. But using AI effectively requires humility too. You've got to know that no matter how advanced these systems become, they're still built on the knowledge humans give them. They reflect us, the good and the bad. That's why it's critical to lead with integrity, to use AI ethically, to ensure that your influence adds light, not noise. Technology amplifies intention. And if your intention is strong, your impact will be unstoppable. We are living in the most empowering time in history, but empowerment comes with responsibility. You have access to tools kings and emperors couldn't dream of. You can build, learn, and share ideas instantly. But that power demands awareness, discipline, and purpose. Because tools don't shape the world, people who use them do. The truth is, AI is not the future, it's the present. And those who treat it as a passing trend will be left behind. But those who understand its potential, who master it, who use it to multiply their impact. They're the ones who will write the story of this century. They're the ones who will look back and say, I didn't wait for the world to change. I helped shape it. You don't have to fear the future. You don't have to fear the future. You don't have to fight it. You just have to use it. Because the greatest power you will ever have is not the technology itself. It's your ability to direct it with wisdom, passion, and purpose. And if you can do that, you'll discover that AI was never your competition. It was your canvas.